What is up guys, welcome everyone to a new code making video. So in this one I'm gonna be showing you an steady gold farm that you can do in Midnight WoW without even having the latest expansion or any profession or any specific requirement. All you need to do is simply come to this location that I'm gonna be showing you in this video, start farming all the mobs that are around the place, and those mobs are gonna have a chance of dropping you mainly two valuable items that we are after, that are going to be materials that are selling extremely well and they are always in demand, right? So let's take a look at these items on the auction house. And first of all, before we get into details about the items, I just want to say right away, I do not have the TSM tooltip, the Trade Skill Master add-on information, which gives information about the sale of the item and stuff. The reason I do not have this is because I have moved from Windows to Linux, and in Linux is quite tricky to install this specific add-on because it works as a separate desktop application. But basically, I'm going to be showing you all the information on the TSM website, including my opinion on the movings of the price, on the charts of the item, and so on, right? So do not worry, we're going to get into those details in a moment, okay? But yeah, I'm going to explain right away why these items are always valuable and they are always going to have demands, right? So the first one, the Dreadfang Venom Sack, is an item that is used for a reputation, right? There is an NPC that is going to have a quest that is going to allow you to give the NPC as many of these items as you want, because you can do the quest as many times as you want. As long as you have the Dreadfang Venom Sack, you're going to be able to complete the quest, right? And that quest gonna give you reputation. Once you have a lot of reputation, you are able to access some transmog items from a certain vendor, which are basically exclusive to that to those who have the really high reputation, right? So for that reason, this item is always going to stay relevant and it's always going to be valuable, right? So that's the first one. Then we have the Netherwave Spider's Hilk. This one, as you can see on the tooltip of the add-on that I have, it's actually way more clear, right? It's you can see it's used for a lot of different crafted transmogs, a lot of purple ones, blue ones, overall really expensive high-end transmog items. Yeah, it's used for those, right? So yeah, having said all of this, let's take a look at these items on the TSM website. Let's see. So first of all, it's going to be this one, the Dreadfang Venom Sack, right? Let's take a look at the statistics of the item. The region sell rate is 0.084, and the region sell average is 65, and the daily sold is 822, right? So I could say the statistic that to me is the most important by far, it would be the region sell rate. Because this region sell rate is extremely high, like most of these items are going to be selling within a week or so, maybe 10 days, but somewhere around that. And sells extremely fast even for such an old item, right? Because this is from the TBC timeline, from the TBC era, right? So yeah, that's one thing. Then the region sell average, we can see this is an item that is relatively valuable, of course. Although this is going to vary a lot, as you can see here on the chart. It really has a lot of ups and downs. So I don't think the region sell average is really that realistic. It's just some basic estimate of where the price is around. And the region average daily sold, I'm not a huge fan of it because it really varies a lot from 1 or 2 months to another. You will see that the region average daily sold is maybe like 2,000 and it will be like 100. It really varies a lot as it's a bit inconsistent. So I'm not a huge fan of the daily sold. I'd rather look at the sell rate to know if the item is selling, right? So yeah, having said all of this, I'm gonna give you my advice when it comes to the price of the item and the fluctuations of the price, so you can, in my opinion, have the best information in order to make more gold selling this, right? So when I think that you should sell this, right, what I try to look for is patterns on the price, okay, where the item is going for a good price, but it's happening a lot of multiple times over the period of 6 months, right? So as you can see, we are on the 6 months range for this entire chart here. And basically, if I look at somewhere around here, which is like 78, 78 or maybe 75, right? I think it's a relatively high price, right? But it's not extremely high to the point that you might see this like once every or twice every 6 months, right? I like to have like this simple idea of like if I can sell something once per month on a higher price, I would rather try to sell it on that high price, right? So if, for example, if we take the 75 gold, how many times does the 75 gold price stays throughout the 6 months, right? So it happens once around here, it happens here again, and here again, and then here again, and here, right? So that's about 6 times, basically 1 per month, which is kind of like my threshold for rather waiting the price to go up a bit, right? So I could not sell the item instantly right now. If I was just farming this, I could not sell it at like 60 gold. I'd rather wait and try to sell this for like 75 gold, right? Now you can do this in 2 different ways. You can just wait until the price goes up, or you can just be posting the item constantly already on 75 gold. And even though that's going to have a little extra cost on the posting of the item every time, you're gonna also be aware that there's a chance that somebody comes and resets the entire market for the item. He buys all the listings and he goes and reposts them for a much higher price. And even if you are selling them at like 75 gold, there's a really high chance that somebody resetting the market is gonna reset it to the very end, like maybe 100 gold or something like that, right? So yeah, that's good strategy I can give you if you are patient, if you wanna wait a bit and you wanna make more gold. Because it might not seem like a lot, go from 60 gold to 75 gold, but if you're farming this for a lot of hours, you know, that's gonna add up, and sometimes you don't really need the gold right away, right? So that's a really good advice I can give you right there, right? So there is this item, then there is the other item, the Netherweb Spider Silk. This one I have a little bit of a different approach, but let's take a look first at the sales information. As you can see, region sell average around 1 gold. The region sell rate is extremely high, like 0.55. This means that every 2 days all the listings are gone, or all the number of listings are gone. Like let's say there is 3,000 listings, all of them will be sold within 2 days, right? So I'm gonna round that. So yeah, and the region average daily is also really high as well, right? So let's take a look at the 6-month chart. You can see it's going for like from like 50 silver to somewhere around 7 gold, right? So if we try to find a price that is reasonable but is still high, it's kind of around this line, right? As you can see, which is the 3 gold line, right? I could try to sell this item around this because, as you can see, it happens too many times to reach this 6-month period that it reaches the price of 3 gold, right? It happens once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? Really a lot of times it ends up happening. And I mean, it might not look like a lot, right? It's a relatively secondary item compared to the other one on the farm, but still, selling an item from like 1 gold or even below that to something like 3 gold, I think it's a huge difference, right? We are talking literally a triple of the price for the item. And this is really easy to happen when the items are really cheap like this one, you know, going around 1 gold, 3 gold, maybe 8 gold, right? This is a relatively cheap item. It's really easy that if the item is costing 1 gold, maybe in a few weeks it's costing 3 gold, right? Because even though it's technically it's a tripling in the price, which is very massive, it's just simply 2 gold in like difference for each of those items, right? So it's very, very likely that it happens, right? Of course, you cannot expect this to happen a lot with some item like this, which is like 60 gold and just go triple the price to like, I don't know, to like 200 gold, right? It could happen, but it's very unrealistic, right? So yeah, I'll recommend you to try to sell this around 3 gold. Just wait a little bit. The sell rate is so high that you're gonna be able to sell this extremely fast. And these items will never lose any value, right? Because they are always gonna be used for these transmogs. Whether it's the reputation one or is this one just for the crafted transmog, right? So yeah, having said all of this about the sales data, let me go back to the game here. And as you can see, I'm gonna be showing you the location of this farm, and I'm also gonna be mentioning how many of these items you are going to get and how you can farm this the most efficient way possible, right? So this is gonna take place in the Outlands area. This is the TBC expansion area. The way to get here is you're gonna go to the portal room in your major city. If you're on the Alliance, that's gonna be Stormwind. If you're on the Horde, that's gonna be Orgrimmar. But you basically find a portal to the Sadra city, or a portal to Sadra, I think it's just called, without the city. And once you are here, you're gonna be able to fly to the place that I'm on, which for some reason I don't know why the map is not unlocked, as I have been going through all the map already, but you know, whatever. But basically, all around this place that I'm hovering with the mouse, you can see that it's kind of like some border within a mountain, right? Border against the mountain, rather, right? And all around here, I'm gonna be showing you. You can just fly around, and you're gonna be able to see all these mobs, right? All these spiders. There's some blue spiders here. I'm gonna enable the nameplates so they are easier to see. You can see there's like one here, one there, one there. There's like a lot of them all below. As you can see, there's so many of them. And if you end up running out of them, although I think they will be probably hyper spawning by then, you can just come and continue here, right? I'm gonna open the map so you can take a look at where I'm going, and it just continues, and then there's a little bit more in here, right? Actually, in here I'm not entirely sure. No, I don't think. Yeah, there are a few of them still, a few leftovers, but yeah. So you can see there are quite a lot of these, right? So if you go farm this solo, wait, before we get into that, let me just hit one of them. So they are level 30, right? This has like, you don't require absolutely anything. Like you're gonna be able to instantly kill them as long as you are level like 50 or 60. You should be able to instantly kill them without any gear or anything like that. And as you can see, they drop the item really, really easily, really instant, right? It's not guaranteed. You are not always gonna get the item, but you're gonna get it a lot of times, right? So yeah, overall, if you are farming this solo, the amount of loot that you get from this is going to be somewhere around 140 of these Tresfan Menon sacks per hour. And then for the other item, for the Netherweb Spider Silk, gonna be somewhere around 100, right? So basically the amount of gold that you will be able to do this, if you do it solo, just from the reagents, right, it should be somewhere around 10k, maybe a little bit more if you do the little trick that I showed you for the price, right? But the thing is, you are also going to be getting some transmog items, and some of them are going to be valuable from time to time. They're going to be unique appearances in this farm, and those are going to increase the gold per hour that you get here for a really good amount, right? But yeah, having said all of that, you can do this also on a group, right? You can do this on a group, and if you do this on a group, it's going to be much more efficient, as it's going to cause the mobs, the spiders, to be respawning way faster, and that's basically going to give more loot to everyone in the group, right? So you can just go here to the bottom right to the group finder, little green eye icon. You click on private groups, you put the name here of the farm, and you basically select here relax, and you list the group, and you can just start farming, and eventually there will be people in here that will want to join your farm. Maybe they don't know exactly the item, but as long as you put gold farm, there's going to be somebody interested into doing some gold, right? And they can just come and do this with you, as there's no requirements for this one, right? So yeah, that's pretty much the video, guys. I hope you found this video useful. Do not forget to consider leaving a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a good day. Bye bye.